this position, it has to be operating. So you can see when it is in this position, it is operating, and when it is in this position, when it comes back, let's say the pump is working, water is coming, water is outflowing, and then definitely the pump is going to, this one is going to be going down, and whenever it comes this side, you want your pump to be off. But when you want it to come back, it won't come back immediately. It waits for your time, the time you wanted. So you wait for like that time. For my yield seconds, I put that 10 because I don't want this video to be
Yes, welcome to yet another video, and today we are going to be talking about dry run protection. You can use it using a float switch, and then we want to add in some spice of yield time. So this is when like you're having your pump inside a well or a deep well or a borehole, and then when water gets down inside the deep well, you want your pump not to pump immediately when your float switch rises, because the water, the quantity of the water has not yet risen to the capacity to pump again, but you want it to maybe wait for like 30 minutes or 45 minutes depending on the yield that was given to you by the person that dug for you. So this is what I'm trying to mean. So we have here our pump, that is our bulb, because we are not going to be having here a pump. But then we want this pump over here, whenever it is in this condition, whenever the float switch is actually here, that means there is a force of water. That means there is water inside the pump, inside the deep well. So whenever there is water, this float switch is up, and that means we have our pump working, so we are delivering water. But when this float switch is facing this downstairs or like downwards, that means definitely there is no water, because that means flotation principle is not working. So, and now we want, whenever it gets in this position, and water starts now accumulating, even if it comes back to this position up, we don't want it to work. We want it to work after waiting for like 30 minutes, depending on the yielding rate of your well. So this is what I'm trying to illustrate. So initially, when you're landing your pump inside the water, your pump is going to be like this whenever you're landing it inside, but you want it to wait for like 30 minutes. That is like you're yielding well, and whenever you wait for 30 minutes, it's going to give you water. So it is supposed to be pumping when it is in this position. That is when it is like this. I don't know if you're going to be seeing me. So when it is in this position, it's when you want it to work, and when it is in this position, we want it not to be working. So whenever it is in this position, we want it to wait for some time, and whenever it is in this position, it has to be operating. So you can see when it is in this position, it is operating, and when it is in this position, when it comes back, let's say the pump is working, water is coming, water is outflowing, and then definitely the pump is going to, this one is going to be going down, and whenever it comes this side, you want your pump to be off. But when you want it to come back, it won't come back immediately. It waits for your time, the time you wanted. So you wait for like that time. For my yield seconds, I put that 10 because I don't want this video to be so long. But you can see when I go down, the pump goes off, and when I bring back, it won't come on immediately. It is going to wait for that waiting time that I want. That is 10 seconds. So you can see this is how I'm trying to illustrate, because definitely you want it. You don't want this, this water is going to come in here. The water will fill, and then the pump is going to pump it for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because it has come to this position. But you want your yielding well, like the yield, because this water is coming inside at a particular rate. There is water coming in, diffusing inside the well. It is coming in at a particular rate. So you don't want your pump to keep like pulsating on and off. You want to set to the PLC. You want to tell the PLC that I want 30 minutes, because I know within 30 minutes my water has reached this level. But when you don't do that, the pump is going to be pumping, and whenever it is in this condition, definitely it's turning off. And whenever it comes back to this position in this level, it will just be it will be going on immediately. But with this project, we want it, whenever it gets in this position, it waits for some particular time, and within that time is when it has to come on. So I think you have gotten the concept. So let's go to the PLC and we program it. We see how we are going to get the result. Thank you. So welcome to the programming session. And most of the times whenever you get into the programming IDE, I normally told you guys you're supposed to get into the comment list first. In the comment list, you're always going to put the input devices you have used, then the output devices you're having, the counters, the timers. But it is not mandatory. So you may choose to put them or you may not choose to put them. But the moment you use them, it is always going to make your work simplified. So it's over here, like you can come and check. You have put your start and stop on input number 1, and then your brown switch, and like the brown wire and the blue wire, they are connected to X4 and X5. Then you got the output. We have connected our pump to Y4, and then you got the timer. You can see we have only one timer that we are using, and then you go to the data resistors, and you can see we are only storing our yield time in D0. So when you go to the program, this is the program we have designed. When you come to this program, immediately in the first ladder, you can see that we are storing 10 seconds. This is in milliseconds. So when you convert to seconds, you get 10. We are storing to D0. That's where we are storing. And then the condition for energizing this internal relay, we have the start button, and then we have the brown switch if it is high, and then memory 1 high, we are going to energize memory 0. This memory high, I'm going to show you the memory 1. I'm going to show you why I have interlocked it with M0. So the condition to start memory 2, I'm going to have my X5. My X5 is the blue wire that is connected to X5 input. So I'm latching it over here. Still, I'm going to show you as twice. So whenever I get this signal over here, this signal is going to be showing me that the low water has been detected, like the first switch has gone low. So whenever it goes low, we want to start the timer until our yield time is attained. So this is why we are getting this M2. So this M2 starts the timer, and now we have the delay. So until the timer goes high, for the time we have put stored in D0, that is 10 seconds. So until we get the 10 seconds, we are going to get this high. So whenever we get this one high, M1 will be attained. So M1 is going to be used to run the pump. So this M1 here is going to be used to run the pump, and M0. So you realize M0 has to come over here. M0 is going to always come whenever there is start. Of course, definitely is going to be on. And whenever the pump, the first switch is facing up, that means brown is going to be energized, and M1 has to be high, because M1 is always going to come whenever we know that we have yielded enough water. So this is our entire program. You can pause and you try to understand whichever line or whichever ladder that is complicated to you, and you understand it. And if you have any question, you can pose your query inside my comment section. I'll be able to read it. So if you compile this program and you download it into the PLC, we transfer the program to the PLC, and then we run the PLC. Over here we do run the PLC, and then we go online. Then we try to go to the HMI design. This is my HMI. We need to start the entire system, and we see. So this is what I'm trying to illustrate. So this is when your system, you start the system, but definitely this pump has to go down. So when you're putting your pump down, definitely this float switch is going to be facing down. This pump, whenever it is here, everything is going to be down. So this is down here. But whenever it is down, it is always going to be waiting for the yield time. Until your yield time gets, like, your well is full of water, is when your system can be started. So firstly, whenever your yield time, and that means whenever you have water inside the system, this one will be up, and then so our system can only start whenever we have yielded enough water. Whenever we have yielded enough water, our system can be up. So you see, our first switch is up, and our system is pumping water. So right now, if
at any time our frost switch goes down, that means this is what I'm trying to mean. If our frost switch goes down, there is no water that is going to be, and still it is going to be waiting for the U time. So now we can say it goes up, but since the U time has no, you see our U time, we always wait for the U time. Let's say now it is pumping, and then water gets to be, reducing until the downer level. That means it is going to go down. It goes down. So the U time is coming. Even if this one goes up and then this one goes up, it won't pump until the yield time. That means until we have yielded enough water. So definitely you can see now our system is running really perfectly. We can put still in the PLC and like the physical PLC, and you see how it will be working. Thank you.